In the small, isolated town of Ravens Hollow, nestled deep within the dark and foreboding woods, a sinister secret lingered. The townspeople spoke in hushed tones about the haunted mansion that stood at the edge of the forest, its dilapidated facade casting an ominous shadow over the entire community. Legend had it that the mansion was once home to the reclusive Abernathy family, who had mysteriously vanished without a trace many decades ago. The townspeople avoided the mansion like the plague, claiming that strange whispers echoed through its empty halls and that the shadows moved on their own accord. One fog-drenched night, a group of curious teenagers decided to unravel the mysteries of the abandoned mansion. Sarah, the adventurous leader, convinced her friends that exploring the haunted estate would be the ultimate thrill. Armed with flashlights and nervous laughter, they cautiously approached the mansion's creaking front door. As the door swung open with an eerie groan, the air inside grew heavy with an unsettling silence. The group ventured deeper, their footsteps echoing through the desolate halls. Odd paintings adorned the walls, depicting twisted faces that seemed to watch their every move. In the heart of the mansion, they discovered a forgotten library. Dust-covered books lined the shelves, their pages whispering secrets of the past. Sarah reached for an ancient tome, and as she opened it, a cold wind swept through the room. The whispers grew louder, forming chilling words that seemed to be directed at them. Suddenly, the doors slammed shut, trapping the group inside. Panic set in as the once-dead mansion came alive with unseen forces. Shadows danced on the walls, and disembodied whispers taunted them. The temperature plummeted, and the air became suffocatingly thick. One by one, the group members disappeared into the darkness, their terrified screams echoing through the haunted halls. Sarah, now alone, stumbled upon a hidden chamber in the mansion's depths. In the flickering candlelight, she found a decaying diary that detailed the Abernathy family's descent into madness and their pact with a malevolent entity. As Sarah read the final pages, the air grew colder, and the whispers transformed into menacing laughter. The entity that had claimed the Abernathy family sought new souls to torment. The shadows converged, forming a grotesque figure that loomed over Sarah. With a blood-curdling scream, the mansion returned to its desolate silence. The front door swung open, revealing the moonlit night. The townspeople awoke the next morning to find the mansion abandoned once again, its dark secrets buried with the souls it had claimed. To this day, the people of Ravens Hollow steer clear of the haunted mansion, and the legend lives on in the whispers that linger in the shadows. The following day, the town awoke to an unusual stillness. The atmosphere was heavy with an unspoken dread as the news of the teenagers' disappearance spread like wildfire. Parents clutched their children a little tighter, and the once curious townsfolk avoided the mansion more fervently than ever. Sarah's parents, grief-stricken and desperate for answers, reached out to a local paranormal investigator, Professor Elijah Blackwood. Known for his expertise in the supernatural, Blackwood arrived in Ravens Hollow with an air of skepticism. However, as he explored the mansion, he couldn't ignore the palpable malevolence that hung in the air. As Blackwood delved deeper into the Abernathy family history, he uncovered a series of chilling events that dated back centuries. The mansion had been built on an ancient burial ground, and the Abernathys had unwittingly awakened a vengeful spirit that hungered for the souls of the living. Driven by a determination to save Sarah and her friends, Blackwood enlisted the help of a local psychic, Madame Esmeralda. Together, they performed a ritual to communicate with the spirits that dwelled within the mansion. The air crackled with energy as the room filled with an otherworldly glow. The spirits revealed their tragic tale, a tale of betrayal, dark rituals, and an insatiable thirst for revenge. The entity that had ensnared the Abernathy family sought to extend its influence beyond the mansion's walls, and the teenagers had unwittingly become its latest victims. As Blackwood and Madame Esmeralda continued their investigation, they discovered an ancient incantation that could banish the malevolent entity back to the depths from which it had come. Armed with this knowledge, they returned to the mansion on the night of the next full moon, when the barrier between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. The atmosphere in the mansion was charged with an otherworldly energy as Blackwood and Madame Esmeralda recited the incantation. The walls trembled and the shadows writhed in agony. Whispers turned into anguished cries, and the temperature plummeted to an unbearable cold. In a blinding flash of light, the malevolent entity was banished. The mansion stood silent once more, its haunted halls now devoid of the supernatural presence that had tormented it for centuries. As dawn broke, Sarah and her friends were found, unconscious but miraculously unharmed, in the mansion's foyer. The town slowly returned to normal, but Raven's Hollow never forgot the horror that had unfolded within the mansion's walls. To this day, the once abandoned estate stands as a testament to the battle between the living and the dead. The townspeople, while grateful for the return of their children, can't shake the feeling that something lingers in the shadows, watching and waiting for the next opportunity to emerge. And so, the legend of Raven's Hollow endures, a cautionary tale whispered by the townspeople to ensure that no one ever again ventures into the darkness that hides within the haunted mansion.